डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Hello, welcome to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University online video session. Today again we are going to continue with the ENGM 308, that is the paper of the study of essays or third year BA paper number 308, and we have to initiate today unit number 6 onwards. Yes, you can see the study of essay ENGM 308 unit 6, and it is part 1. The name of the unit is Gifts by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So let's start the essay right now. Before starting this session, I wish to let you know that we had completed unit 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which were regarding the form of the essay, the study of essay, the introduction of the essay form. According to that, we also studied the essays of John Galsworthy, the essays of Bacon, Francis Bacon, and we also studied how the form was generated in the literature, in English literature, in British English literature, how the form developed, how the form of essay, the genre of essay, how it developed, its initiation, its continuation, its developing stage. All these things were already discussed in unit 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I advise you to watch the videos of unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Afterwards, this unit number 6. First unit 6 part 1, and then you have to go for the video of unit 6 part 2. So let us start our work. Look, now today we are going to study the form of essay, the essay which is written by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it is about gifts. The name of the essay is Gifts. The beautiful thing of this topic is the essay which is discussed up till now is with English literature, British literature, with the literature of Europe, and now onwards in this essay we are going to focus on the essay of Emerson, who is the person, the literature person, the literary person of American literature, which is a quite different thing that you have to note down, you have to keep it in your mind while studying the essayist Ralph Waldo Emerson. We can say him as Waldo also. He is very much popular, known as Waldo, but the students, the learners and the teachers, they generally utilize the name as Emerson. So you can use both the words, whatever you are familiar with. First, we have discussed about introduction to form of essay. You know how the form of essay works, and it is a long descriptive kind of comprehension, kind of a composition, kind of a write-up which is about one particular topic, and its ideas, its complements, its comments, its pros, cons and descriptive narrative things are written in a particular write-up that is known as essay. So we are not much worried about understanding the definition of the essay, because it is completely discussed in other chapters, in other videos. Now today we are going to focus on objectives about introduction to Emerson, transcendentalism, and Emerson as essayist. These are the three main things which we are going to focus on right now in this session. So let's discuss the first topic, introduction to Emerson. Look, this is the photograph of Emerson, the American writer, the man of literature of American literature of America, United States of America, US person. Waldo Emerson, an American poet. Of course, he is the poet of America, essayist, philosopher, and his date of birth is mentioned over here, 25th May 1803 in Boston. Then there is a data written about Emerson's philosophy was under the influence of Thomas Carlyle. Look, the man of European English literature. You know, Carlyle is known to be the man of British English literature of the Victorian era of the 19th century. Before that, you can remember the great romantic poets like William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Emerson was, of course, in contact with Wordsworth and Coleridge, but his most familiar friendship was with Thomas Carlyle, and that is why he was much influenced by his friend Thomas Carlyle. He was known as the Sage of Concord. Look, this is a tag which is with him. He's known as the Sage of Concord. Why he is known as the Sage of Concord? You must have this question in your mind. It should be aroused in your mind, and it is about other writers associated with Concord in the 1840s. They are included over here with Nathaniel Hawthorne, Henry David Thoreau, and Margaret Fuller. All these three writers, and of course Emerson, all these four writers, they were in connection with the particular work, The Sage of Concord. They were connected with this work, and because this work was very famous and popular, and it is that much popular that Emerson was named after this work. That's why there is a saying, Emerson was sometimes referred to in the newspapers as the Sage of Concord. In newspaper, he was known as the Sage of Concord. He is known as the icon of American literary and philosophical movement like Transcendentalism, which had its epicenter in New England. Before discussing the essay of Emerson, Gifts, of course, in this session, we are going to discuss what is Transcendentalism and how it is connected with Emerson. What is the actual ideology of Transcendentalism? That you must keep it in your mind whenever you think about Emerson or Thoreau, of course, any American writers of 19th century during 1840 till 1860, because it is the most important, the crucial time of Transcendentalism and its popularity in American literature. That's why Transcendentalism becomes very much important over here while understanding Emerson. Look, here it is said that Transcendentalism was inaugurated, or it was found etymologically from New England. Emerson was most popular for nature in 1836. There was one work, the name of that work was Nature, and it was very popular in 1836. It was written by Emerson. His another works were Concord, Hymn and Brahma. Look, they are in blue color. You can see that there is a hypertext markup language. When you click on this particular name, either on Brahma or Concord, Hymn, while you are connected with internet accessing, you can read those particular works also, and I suggest you, in fact, this is the most important advice for you, that whenever you are going to focus or study any particular writer, essayist, poet, then at least you must know the two other works of that particular person, because it makes you write more vast, more details, much more plentiful knowledge about that particular writer. That's why I have kept over here the two easiest works of Emerson, which you can click, and at the same time you can understand and read those works. And when you are going to write the answer of Emerson and his essay Gifts, in your ENGM 308 paper, the study of essays. At the same time, you can mention some of the details of this two other works which you had already just looked for the purpose of references. That's why I advise you in that way. Let us go for the meaning of transcendentalism, which is very much important in this session. Look, first of all, we have to see the quotation written by Underwood. He said that Emerson is the Columbus of modern thoughts. Why the Columbus? Because in the very first slide we already discussed that he is not only the poet of America, he is the essayist and he is the philosopher, he is the idealist. That's why he could be considered the generator of modern thoughts. After Francis Bacon, his resources were so full and whole. His ideology, his thoughts, his modern thoughts were so perfect and so full, so competent. That's why they could be followed by and listened and implemented by many other essayists. Transcendentalism. What is the meaning of it and how Emerson followed that transcendentalism, that you have to study over here. It means that divinity spreads nature and humanity. Look, transcendentalism basically deals with spirituality, divinity, and of course it is about the ideology where the person believes in divinity, in nature, in humanity. So this is much more a holistic kind of a concept. It is an idealistic movement which started in 1836 from New England. Look, the movement started in New England, but it was more popular and most popular in America as well. It is influenced by Romanticism, Platonism, and the theory of Kant. If you remember the great critics Kant and Hegel, you would certainly understand the theory of Kant, as there was a theory of Plato, who had talked a lot about the Republic, his work, and he also discussed about the didacticism in literature. And in the same way, I think you are very much familiar with Romanticism also. The great famous romantic writers like Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, Coleridge, Byron, and many more other. So all these things were very much influenced, they were very much engrossed, and they were very much adhering to the theory of transcendentalism. There is philosophical, spiritual, and literary movement, all these three things together. Look, of course the theory of transcendentalism is about philosophy, it is about spiritual element, it is about divinity, but at the same time it talks about humanity and naturalism. It talks about feeling and intuition. You have to remember these two words. They are very much important when you understand about the transcendentalism, because the theory talks about feeling and intuition rather than the rationalism and the logical reasoning. You can write clearly in your answer as well. This is the main concept of transcendentalism. It developed in the late 1820s and 1830s. Look, it is written over here. And in the New England region of the United States. It initiated from United States, New England area. Transcendentalism is of course the reaction against rationalism. Look, as I told you, it is the reaction against logical reasoning as well as rationalism. The main idea is in the belief of natural goodness of people and nature both. Two main things are very much important: natural goodness and the nature. It is about human beings' connection with nature, human beings' feeling and understanding, and human beings' natural intuition, human beings how they are self-reliant, and how they are individually a human being, a good human being, individually how they are connected with the other social people. That is the most important concept of transcendentalism. Maybe it would be coming in the further slides. Let us see this. These group, they saw and study. These group means the people who follow the transcendentalism, they saw and study the divine experiences in day-to-day life. Look, they try to follow and study, and they might be observing also the divine experiences in their regular day-to-day life, so far as the theory of transcendentalism is concerned. Look, many people, many great writers, essayists, the literary figures, they are connected in this Transcendental Club. It was founded in 1836 by a group: Ralph Waldo Emerson, Bronson Alcott, Frederick Henry Hedge, W.E. and W.E. Channing, Theodore Parker, Margaret Fuller, Nathaniel Hawthorne, of course the great person, the man of the book The Scarlet Letter. And there is a very famous short story of Nathaniel Hawthorne. You must read it. It's very interesting. His name is Young Goodman Brown. And Henry Thoreau, the main person of the great philosophy of transcendentalism, that you must remember. Of course, two names I wish to let you know. They are undoubtedly connected with the theory of transcendentalism, that is Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson. So we have to discuss the points of transcendentalism and who were in the club of transcendentalism. Transcendentalism and Emerson, this is the particular thing on which we had discussed. As you can see over here, it was initiated in 1836 by the group of people, and who were in the group of people? They were, of course, Emerson and Thoreau. Not only they both, but Bronson Alcott, Frederick Henry Hedge, W.E. and W.E. Channing, Theodore Parker, Margaret Fuller, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Henry Thoreau. These were the main leaders, they were the main people against this particular transcendentalism club. Transcendentalism reflects that people are at their best when truly self-reliant and independent. Look, this is a particular thing which we are supposed to understand in the theory and in the concept of transcendentalism. It discusses about self-reliant, and it tells us about independent human being. When the human being is free, when we talk about independence, when you talk about liberation, when the mind is free, without any kinds of pressures or without any kinds of rules and regulations which are merely trying to bind the human being, then he or she is free. And when there is freedom, when there is independence, and when there is liberation, of course the human being, the mindset is a self-reliant mindset, and that self-reliant mindset as well as independence, they bring the holistic thinking, and that is why there is a concept about transcendentalism which talks about the feeling and the intuition in human mind, in human beings' understanding of transcendentalism, because transcendentalism basically deals with feeling and intuition of human being overall. It was also directly influenced by Indian religions. So this is a very clear concept over here. we know that Emerson had written the poetry that I have named in the beginning of the session, Brahma, and he is very much interested in Indian religion. He is the person who had studied the concepts of Indian religion. He was very much more influenced by Indian religion, and that's why you can say that there is a need of study of transcendentalism with a view to Indian religions. One should of course see which were categorized under the name of Indian religions, and they could be of course deliberately connected with transcendentalism. So we are ending our session over here. Before that, you have to see these two books, the images which are mentioned over here, Close Understanding of Essay, and the essay's name is Gifts, which we are going to take in the second part of this essay. Up till now, goodbye all. God bless you.
स्वाध्यायः परः